Hello and welcome to a belated after action report. I am King of Prussia, and I'm joined by you'd never guess who I'm joined by today. This guy named Salt.
First time for me. Don't know if we've done one of these before. So hello, everyone.
What even is this? Well,
Who
I can.
knows?
It's an after action report of another one of colonization diplomacy by Eradicate. Um, yeah, so this is the variant where you can see that there's a bunch of powers all over the world. Let's start with varying amounts of supply centers. Um, and to win, each power not only has to reach a specific amount of supply centers for it. So, like, for Maratha, it might be 18, or for Britain, it might be like 40 or something. Not exact numbers, but you get the gist. Not only is that a stipulation, but also each power has specific win conditions that it has to achieve in order to be able to win. So for Austria, there for each power there are four different win conditions, and you have to do at least two of them to win. So for Austria, for example, you have the generic one, which is securing domination, which is own your own capital and two others. So Vienna, Constantinople, and Warsaw, for example. There is own at least five supply centers in Africa, which, as you can tell, for Austria is quite a task. There is one to own Gibraltar, or like one of Gibraltar or Valencia, and then one of like Riga or Königsberg, and then one of Constantinople or Izmir, and then one of Aleppo or Cairo. It's really complicated. And the last one is to have either two Dutch home supply centers or Firenze, Rome, and Geneva. So I don't know about you, but I didn't have Austria in my picks. Because that seemed rather unrealistic.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So with that, I guess with that belated explanation out of the way, did I miss anything, Salt?
I think you explained everything. One thing to note about this game that there's no coring again. This is ColDip, so coring isn't a thing here. Instead, units can like transform. So like, if you have an army or a fleet on the coast, then like an army can transform into a fleet using its turn, and a fleet can do the same thing there. But you can't like go to a center and pour that like you normally would be able to in a lot of other games.
Like imperial diplomacy, just to name one example, the biggest.
Yeah, but who
um,
plays that, right?
I would never, except that I'm in two of those games right now. But we'll see if those make it on here. One will, the other we'll see. Um,
Yeah.
so I guess without further ado, Salt and I can explain which countries we were playing. Um, I will humbly take the lead. In my picks, my first pick was this power called the Maratha Empire. This one wasn't in the last version of ColDip in ColDip 3.0, but in 4.0, which this is 4.0, they were added. And so they start with three supply centers. To win, you have to get to 18 supply centers, which if you just like take a glance in India, it looks pretty doable. I mean, you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, just there, right? It's not that
Yeah.
hard. The other win conditions that I have are the generic one, which is own your capital and two others, which actually is pretty damn hard as Maratha. I never considered that one because I mean Delhi maybe I can get, and then like I don't think Pegu I can ever get because I can't project power in there at all. And my other choice would be like Rustak,
Rostock
which
maybe.
for some reason Oman's capital is here instead of in Muscat, which would be much more achievable. But you know, so that's out of the question. My second one is to own at least four European home supply centers and ensure no more than three in India are owned by Europeans. That's actually pretty doable. I mean, there are like options to take in here, and I mean, it's just kill Britain basically is what that is. Kill the English, yes, sure. My third win condition that I can get is to own at least four Mughal supply centers, home centers, and ensure that Mughals own less than six. So, I mean, doable, but not easy, but doable. And then the fourth one I can get is either to have one supply center in Africa or two in the East Indies. So, I mean, it seems relatively accomplishable that I can I can kick the Europeans out and then either have some sort of crazy convoy to one continent or the other. That's my general plan in picking this power. So that's
Solid.
me. Salt, where were you at?
Yeah, I decided to go to Africa this game, and I decided to play a little known power called Bornu. Um, it's one guy, Captain Meme, played Bornu once, so I figured I might give it a shot here. And at a surface look, Bornu looks pretty good on this map. Inland African powers with no fleets tend to be very good because a lot of powers around you just don't really have opportunity to really get to your cores very easily, and that's kind of the same case here. But as for the win cons,
I actually figured
my
I could
first
just
one is
paste it here.
yeah,
That's
yeah, you
maybe
can
a good
just put them
idea.
on there.
Now we can read them out.
Yeah, we might have to go through a lot in this game. My first one is the generic one. Own my capital and two others. I have like a couple viable options. There's Segu's capital to my left. There's Ethiopia's capital, and then Congo's capital down south, and like all those are within like 3 moves. So I could get to two of those pretty fast if I like really want to go for those. Um, and the other ones is like one of them is to make sure a European power like so like there's all these dots along the West African coast there, and like I need to make sure that no more than two of them are owned by a European power. And what's unique about that is that like I don't have to actually own those dots myself. So, like if I wanted to, I could like support Congo into all of those dots there, and like that would still count as me having that win condition. So that's one of them. Another one is to just own Kahir up in Egypt. And the last one is to either own one dot that's not in Africa or two dots in Arabia. And of those, the one dot not in Africa is more doable, mostly because like there's like a bunch of like maps where like showing like what's Africa and what's not
Right.
Africa, just like people know what's what for these different win cons. And notably, Saint Helena somehow does not
Yeah.
count
There's a dot
as
here.
Africa.
This is not Africa. So good times.
I'll just hop over there and call it a day. At least that's my plan uh, going in, and
I'm trying to figure out.
looks pretty good to me at least.
The win cons were not updated to the names in the map for this one.
Oh, were they not?
Yeah, there's no supply center called Sao Tome, and there's no one called Douala. So I just crossed out all the ones I saw. I imagine this is the other one.
Yeah,
Right. So yeah, that seems pretty simple. Well,
that'll
it doesn't
work.
seem pretty simple, but you've explained it well.
We can explain either win cons as it go. Another thing that making Borneo really good on this map is that my neighbors all have their own separate win cons that they need to win, and not a single one of them encouraged them to go after me. So I can just like sit back in the middle, let them fight each other, and take any fight I want. Pretty much, I don't think that my neighbors being aggressive towards me is something that's going to happen very soon because their win cons are like all in like the opposite direction. So I should be pretty good on that front at least.
Yes, I will explain the win cons of my neighbors later because they are a little bit more, maybe this is a bit of a spoiler. They're a little more relevant than the win cons of Salt's neighbors, as it turns out. Um, and the other thing to mention is that the guy who threw the win against me in 1862 is playing in Morocco.
Yeah,
So I'm
he's
not in Africa.
pretty close by.
I don't have any bearing on him, but if I did, I wouldn't be very nice.
We will definitely get into him later, but it is pretty funny. I won't spoil anything, but it is a great time in
I'm
Africa, at
sure
least.
I'm sure that being his neighbor is a wonderful time.
I happen to agree.
Yep.
Maybe I'll get a throw.
All right. So I guess I'll explain my general plans of the first phase. Yeah, we can get into what happens before. So early
Yeah,
on, Portugal was like radio silent. So I don't know what his thoughts were, but he's not talking. So my one of my first ideas is to either kick him out or like manipulate him when he does talk to try to use him as a puppet. But it's not very relevant early on because he's literally just not talking. Luckily, I have a ton of options for what centers I can take. Um, England is probably going to want to go to Bombay, but that's not guaranteed. So I would always love to have this center because it's a pre-core. I can build in it. I like building in centers generally. Um,
of course.
I have options with regards to Berar, Orissa, and Kangoda. I can take any of them that I like. I'm pretty much unopposed. England can technically oppose me, but that would be stupid because he would die. So one of my ideas is to move like this and move up and just guarantee all of these three and get a nice border here. I also, there are, because there are also other colonies in southern India. The other option I have is I can open to like Mysore and just take two of these centers, or I could open um, Bandar to Mysore and Satara to Bandar to go and force France out right away. And if I think France is going to be a threat, then that's something I could do. Um, Lots of options. I talked to England. England actually, if I recall correctly, which I'm going to pull up my maps just to make sure I do recall correctly. England actually does not contest me from Bombay, which pretty much sets my thoughts right away. My plan after I learn England isn't going to contest the center is to take that to move Golconda to take the most vulnerable dot in Berar. I guess the most vulnerable dot I can realistically hold, and to send Bandar to Mysore to get a foothold in southern India, prevent France from taking it in the fall. Because, like France, for example, could go to Vijayanagar, but then move up to Mysore if I move this army away and be annoying like that in getting a really strong foothold. Um, so that's a long ramble about what my thoughts were early on. The other thing that's important to know about how I categorize this position is that the Mughal Empire to my north also had wind conditions, and there were I'll just pull them up. There were a few that were pretty innocuous to me, and there was one that wasn't. So own your own capital, capital to others, yada yada. Own Number two, restoring control. Own at least two Maratha home supply centers, and ensure Maratha owns less than five supply centers. Um,
That sounds nice.
yeah. So Mughal and I might have an issue because we both have winning conditions directing a war between us. Then there's, Heir of Timur, which is owned Bukhara, and at least three Iranian home supply centers, so like this one and then these, which actually is looks pretty hard because getting Isfahan is like you can only ever get three on it at the absolute most. So
Yeah, attacking that
you're
in
kind of
general is just pretty difficult.
if the Ottomans like exist at all, you are just like SOL. You're shit out of luck. Uh, and then there's the new Tsar of China, which is own at least two Qing home supply centers, which are like really far away and really
Yeah, it's not
hard
gonna
for
happen
Mughals to
either.
get. So
China starts with like a billion armies too.
Mughals are basically told that they're gonna have to kill me because if you're gonna go to Persia or you're gonna go to China, one of those that's a really hard commitment. You have to like the other person or just not attack them at all. Um, which in my view means that it's pretty inevitable that they're gonna try to come south. They're gonna recruit my neighbors to do that, and I need to either have neighbors on side or I need to wipe as many of them out as possible before Mughals draws them in to fight me. Which does influence some of my early moves a little bit. Other than that, I mean, there's going to be more relevant stuff about you know the win cons that I'll get to later, but I think that does a pretty decent job of explaining my year one thoughts at least. So
Yeah. Over in Africa, we have our neighbors at least are significantly more chill. I have like 4 dots year one guaranteed here, and I have 3 armies to take them with, so I have plenty of choices. My main strategy going in is that there's these really easy dots to take to my south, towards the coast here, with like near like Portugal's 1 dot colony in the Fernando Po. It's like my thought process is that that's a really easy dot chain that I can take like year one to year two. And like while I'm doing that, everyone else around me will be occupied in some kind of war between some other neighbor they have, and so that'll give me pretty simple growth against a player that can't really fight back very well because Portugal will only have like 1 DOS. Like even if they build, it's like my 4 units versus their 2, so it's pretty easy fight for me to take. While my neighbors will be committed, and then whenever that's done, I'll have probably more builds than my neighbors will, and I'll be able to knife them while they're occupied doing uh, something else. So I want to head south immediately, and that also gets me to the coast. And if I can get early fleets in like the Gulf of I think that's
Gulf of Guinea.
Guinea. Yeah. So I get if I can get like early fleets there, I can actually like control that entire space, and then that'll let me get armies towards like Segu or Congo, and that'll get me closer to their capitals as well. And I get the West African WinCon very a lot faster than I otherwise would. So I think just going straight south is like probably my best option. Um, Other than that, I just try to generally make friends with all my neighbors. Me and Segu actually share a WinCon, and making sure that the Europeans don't own more than 2 of those centers in that coastal area along West Africa. So that's a pretty easy alliance to make. And Segu also has a WinCon to kill Morocco, so they're pretty easy allies, and like they got a bunch of European colonies around them. So I'm hoping to work with them at least for a little bit. At the same time, I'm encouraging both Denmark and Dutch to attack Segu here. I figure if they can be more of a nuisance to Segu, Segu will have less and less builds, and Segu will, like is guaranteed to fight them. So like, I don't have to worry about Segu changing their minds. And if I can get that war to happen, then Segu will have less builds. So when I need to make the push for Segu's capital, I can do that a lot faster than I otherwise would be able to. I'm also encouraging Morocco to fight Segu because why not? As for Ethiopia, Ethiopia is my neighbor who talks the most. So this is probably the person I want to like long term work with. I'm hoping I can kind of use Oman here as like a way to like control Ethiopia's growth somewhat. But Oman isn't really interested in fighting Ethiopia, so that's not really going to happen, at least not early on. So I'm hoping to like make friends with them and stay peaceful, and like they don't have anyone constant to attack me. So I'm hoping that both of us being strong players in the region, not having one constant go after each other will mean just a relatively stable alliance going forward. And last but not least, we have Congo. Congo, I doesn't really talk a whole lot either, but they are more talkative than like Portugal was, who didn't return any of my messages at all for the first year. So
Always a
I'm
good
hoping to
sign.
work with Congo always. Portugal is my best friend in this game, if you can't tell.
Mm, I mean, in one certain
Uh,
fashion, yes.
we do love the dots. But yeah, Port Congo is like someone I'm hoping to work with maybe like mid game, but I don't see any way to work with him like short term stuff like maybe some help with like that Portuguese colony. But really, I want that dot chain entirely for myself. So whether I work with Congo short term or long term, I'm still kind of waiting to decide on that until like year two, and we'll see then. Um, and that's kind of everything I had for year one. I'm gonna push south. I'm gonna take with my other army in the north. I'll just take the guaranteed dot there, and hopefully by the time I have to make a stab on one of my neighbors, they'll all be too busy doing something else to where they can't really do anything to block me from whatever I want to do. Kind of the plan, at least. So far, it's going pretty good.
A very salty plan indeed.
If
All
it
right.
works, it works.
Yes. Well, onwards we go to moves. Um, where, as it turns out, all your moves go to plan. Who knew?
Yeah, it is great when it happens.
Yep. And
How
then,
did your moves go?
yeah, also to plan, pretty much. I don't get instantly attacked by the Mughals, which would be stupid for them to do, but it's always possible.
Yep.
And I get all the dots that I like. And near the end of the phase, Portugal tells me that I'm going to contest Bombay. But at this point, I'm going to be honest, Portugal is not really someone I want to work with because I don't think that they're going to be like useful if they don't do press, basically. Like if you don't do press year
Now,
one, then you're not necessarily going to be the most useful ally.
no, I don't think Portugal's going to have the best game here if they decide that this is a gunboat game and not a press game.
Yes. The other thing to note, yeah, Mughals makes a pretty typical opening. Um, Iran, I was hoping in early press that Iran would attack Mughals because that's just good for me. They have like a win condition to do it. And it makes a lot of sense, but instead they do this thing that doesn't make that much sense, which is direct all of their armies north towards Russia. Um, which I don't get because Russia does not contest Iran at all, in fact.
That could have been coordinated with China, maybe, because China's kind of doing the same thing.
My understanding is that it was coordinated with Ottomans, but also the Ottomans did not do much press early on, so I am not entirely sure. Like, neither did Russia, to be fair, but I'm not entirely sure how that happened. Um,
Yeah, just
yeah,
a odd choice. Not taking Bukar and Spring also kind of shows that they're planning to work with Bugles.
yeah, it's not the plan that I would have chosen. We'll say.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing is that England's making these weird moves over here. I'm not entirely sure why you would move to Bangla, but my press with England is mostly just England for now telling me, yeah, you can have this center, and me saying, yes, England, best friend, that sounds good. Um, I I am not super interested in England, even if it would be like better for him to move the army to Orissa. I'm not that interested in it being there because, well, even though it could do this,
Yeah.
and I would like to do that, I just not a very high press player. I'm not the most interested in having him have units right next to me.
Yeah. Better be safe.
Yep. Of course, the Dutch moved to the Bay of Bengal, which does make me nervous, but hopefully that's not something that they do. Hopefully things go fine.
Yeah, and
Uh,
they had the king go to take anyways if they wanted to. So I can kind of see it.
exactly. Elsewhere around the world, there's a fight between the British and the Danish. Who could have seen that one coming when you drew out this position?
Hey, it's kind of funny 'cause, like everyone pre-game was talking about just how like Denmark and Bray would fight no matter what. So that was like the vibes going before the game even like began, and everyone knew it would happen. I don't think everyone knew it would happen quite so soon, but
Well, don't
yeah.
worry, because if the position itself didn't look like it would guarantee a fight, there's also a little win condition for Denmark called Reestablish the Danelaw, which says own at least 3 British home supply centers. So if you thought drawing the position like this wasn't enough to completely remove everyone's diplomatic, maneuverability, also give a win condition to one of them that says, "Hey, you should kill that other person as soon as possible," because that will remove any remaining flexibility from the position.
Yeah, it's not like Denmark like surrounds Britain either. You know, they have plenty of other viable methods of people to
Well, yeah, because
go
this fleet
after,
in
I'm
Reykjavik,
sure.
could like go here and then here, and then it could go here. But actually, France has a fleet right here that can take them. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, there's
It's
also a Danish free court that starts as controlled by Britain. So just even more reasons for those two
no,
to
that
fight.
couldn't. And Denmark's other win conditions are let's see, own at least 7 supply centers bordering the Baltic Sea, which, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like,
That's like all of
maybe
them,
it's
right?
doable. Um, actually, you could get this decently depending on how it counts, because like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But like you're still gonna
Oresund might count as
Orison does
Baltic here,
count.
which would help a lot.
But
Okay,
but
then
you're
yeah, that's
still
pretty
but
doable.
you're still being told to pick a fight with, 2 of Austria, Poland, and Russia. Um,
Yeah,
and the
most win
other
cons are pretty much just fight this other player.
win condition that's not kill Britain is own at least 12 supply centers outside of Europe, which is like Denmark has 3 one-dot colonies to do that with. This one,
It's
and
a
this
luck
one.
game there, and it's
Ec
not looking good for Denmark either.
well, it's not really a luck game because this one in Africa could be decent, except for the fact that 2 of the regionals are told explicitly to kill it with fire as soon as possible.
Yep, and it starts right
So
next to a Dutch colony, and we know that if your home center borders another person's home center, that just only makes for the most peaceful border you can possibly have. So I'm sure
exactly.
that'll be fine.
No, I mean, the win conditions are really good, I promise.
I think they're going to get rid of them in A5, but I'm not sure.
One would hope. I played it because I kinda had to after we did an AAR on it, but I regret everything. And we'll see why. Um, also, is there
Should we go to
anything
fall?
yeah, do you wanna talk about no, you can talk about the
Uh,
Morocco player later if you want to.
yeah, I'll talk about Morocco. I think spring year one is or spring year two. Something will happen, and that's the perfect time.
Alright, so we'll go to fall. Not much. Okay, well, people don't like you, Salt, and by people, I mean, France and South America and,
Yeah, France just
France.
has a vendetta against me, for some reason.
Hmm.
Ails is just being a troll, which is fine.
Oh, look
It
at
looks
this,
kind of funny though.
Congo snuck a fleet up, and it looks like Portugal's colony is dead earlier than expected.
Who could have thought?
But also an army here, and like no army is going south.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
that makes perfect sense.
Certainly a
I'm
decision.
surprised you didn't dot France here, by the way.
Me? Well,
Yeah,
I kind of the thing about my moves here was that I wanted to kick Mughals out of Allahabad and then try to convince them to retreat to Agra. It didn't really work, but it's better than doing nothing. And B, I
yeah,
wanted to have my cake and eat it too, which means I wanted Bombay, but I also wanted Portugal not to be relevant. So
makes sense.
dotting France was tempting, but I also was like threatening death war if I did anything, which I didn't really care about. But I was like, I mean, we can have death war later, right? Um,
Yeah, I mean he has the two dots in the south that he can. I can see it.
yeah. Yeah, these dots. So it's like I want to wait till I'm a little bit stronger before I really mess with him too much. Um, so there's that. Also notable is that Tongu, which is over here in Burma, lets Mughals have Utsang instead of telling Mughals, I'm gonna take this dot and you can take that one, which makes no sense to me until you actually go over and you glance at the win conditions of the Tongu Empire. And
Oh
as it
no.
turns out, one of them is own at least 8 supply centers in India. Um,
Oh, that's not what you want to see.
yes. So if you go, let me just quickly expand where I can draw.
I
Um,
don't know why they moved to Cochin in spring either. Like, it's objectively better to like. I don't know. I guess you can't get two on DACA, but I mean, surely you had other options.
well, if you do this,
Maybe
you don't do
not.
that. You don't really have any other options, but you should take Utsang.
I mean, you
So
shouldn't let Meagles into that for basically free either.
yeah. So the win condition is on Kedah, Ayutthaya, Champa, Merak, and Dang Noai. So it's what is it? This, this, and that. So that is one of the orders to one of the win conditions, which is pick a fight with Spain and China and the Netherlands, which is an interesting order, but you know, kind of
It's
annoying.
one way to do it.
Um, there's dominate the spice trade, own at least 4 supply centers in East Indies. So you'd think that this would include Malaysia, but it doesn't. East Indies is only the islands. So that means you have to have 4, like, here, 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 and here, which is quite difficult to like project power down this coastline because there are not enough coastal tiles to force anything down there, right? Um,
Yeah, I think that's a change because of A3. They realized that like the wind conditions there, they're like too many dots, so it's like not as hard as they wanted it to be, but it does kind of screw over Tungu in this case.
well, it actually doesn't because if you look, their other win condition is own 8 supply centers in India. So if I'm just looking at on my side monitor to kind of be able to explain this. India is we'll just get rid of that. India is like this. Let me that. So 8 supply centers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that actually, believe it or not, leaves space for the Mughals to also take the supply centers they need from me for their win condition. And that makes for a pretty natural alliance here no matter what I say or do. Um,
Isn't that fun?
it's a fun mechanic, and it's pretty cool to have like unique win conditions for every country, but also it seems pretty stupid. Um, Now, luckily here, I
It
kind
is
of
a little too convenient for them to do.
I do have some
Should be
comprehension
hard.
of my situation because I convinced Britain to, attack here and to take Rajkot because Mughals decides to try to convoy into my center. And like, what was the idea? I mean, I guess they probably thought I was gonna like, do this or something to bamboozle the colonizers. Um, but I'm a simple man. I don't do
Hmm.
complicated things. Totally, never would. No. Um,
Maybe they thought Britain would support that end, but I don't know why they would. Doesn't make sense.
yeah, I'm not sure. Also, the Dutch don't like the English, but their way of showing it is to just suicidally charge their fleets. Like,
We love to see it though.
it's funny, but it's really ineffective. And all it does is clog up the coastline.
Yeah,
Yes, elsewhere there's still a fight between the British and the Danish, and Death War. Oh boy,
the
Death War.
Dutch.
Yep, they bounce in a
Yeah,
center
Dutch
over
and Danish
here.
are working together, but not well.
Yeah. Yo, what in the
It's yeah, right. It's in Europe.
is it convoy?
Dutch they like try to come up with a like misordered it somehow. I'm not entirely sure how they. I think Denmark was supposed to support the Dutch end, but didn't,
But they did
and
this
so it
instead.
failed. Yeah, it's weird.
It's just so great. And then France dots the Danish. So
Love it.
and Spain is just kind of having a good time. You know, it's just how it
Yep,
is.
Spain has so many just free dots just in this game. It's crazy.
Yeah. So for Spain's win conditions, for example, one of them is own more than the British Empire with at least 4 supply centers on 5 continents. So that's like you'll. It sounds hard, but it's not hard because you have North America, which is big, South America, which is big, Europe, which is big, and Asia. Here you have 1, 2, 3 supply centers starting in Asia. So you're actually completely fine. There's no problems ever with that one, especially when
Of
England
course.
has people like Denmark ordered to kill it from the start. It's something, all right. The 2 other ones are a bit more difficult. One of them is called showing up the Habsburgs. So it's like own where's Lagos? I don't know Lagos.
Lagos is
Oh,
in
oh, that's a Portuguese
Nigeria.
dot. No, it's a Portuguese dot. And that is
Oh,
actually a
right.
Nigerian city, but for some reason it's a Portuguese supply center. So it's like own that,
For
that,
some reason.
that. So it's kill Portugal, own Gibraltar, and then have like Naples and Firenze, which is pretty easy actually, in my opinion. Um, So pretty cut and dry for Spain winning conditions. The other one is to own at least 7 total home supply centers of Native Americans, which is just a big middle finger to all the regionals across North and South America. Um,
Yep.
that's just what it is.
Just colonize more.
Yes,
I'm sure that they love that.
I am sure they do. So I guess on that very happy note, we'll go to the next the build phase.
Yep.
Um, so
You'll never guess what
hmm,
my builds are.
I was expecting a fleet on Lake Chad.
Alas, apparently the Chad is for the land there and not the lake, so they
Hmm.
won't let me.
I build 2 armies in
It's
1
it's
fleet.
tragic.
The fleet is just because like I can only build so many fleets, and I like fleet. It's just a good resource to have, you know.
Yeah,
And
fleets
then
are good.
yeah, and then 2 more armies. England builds an army here, an army here. I don't get why the army is in. Like if you're gonna build an army in India, you want to put it over here, right? Because otherwise you just get decked. And I
You would
thought,
think they would want to defend Dhaka.
that was such an obvious build that I did not bother to coordinate builds with England. Um,
Well, this
which
is the same England that managed to get like death ward by two different other players in like spring
well, to
on
be
the
fair,
first first year.
Denmark is ordered to death ward him, and the Dutch
True,
are.
true.
Let's see.
That's just like 1-2.
Yeah, the Dutch are just kind of agents of
You're
chaos.
just vibing.
But you just see where the fleet from Candy ended up, and you don't have to like. There's no more explanation required for that. The Dutch are
Pretty
just
much.
on their own wavelength.
It's no idea what Dutch are even doing. It's just exploring the world at this point.
Yeah. Tongu builds 2 fleets, which, well, we'll see.
We'll see what they do.
I'm not optimistic about those fleets, we'll say.
Yep.
And
Um, Ethiopia builds 4 armies on my end, which I really don't like to see. But
yeah.
everyone else's builds are about as friendly as possible to me.
Mhm. Iran builds 3 armies for some reason. I don't know why you would ever build an army in Hormuz. That's the worst place you could put a new army imaginable, I think.
Yep. I was about to say can move somewhere, but just build the army in Herat and
Yeah,
just
or
do
Isfahan.
something with it. Um, Caspian
Like
Fleet could be good too, you know?
like if you want a unit to guard against the potential that Oman might attack you, then it should be a fleet.
Like also like yeah, like at least get like a fleet on the Persian Gulf because like that's such an obvious angle of attack from Oman.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like army with Qatar would be obvious too. I would think, but
Yeah, this attack on I don't know. Did they attack the Ottoman Empire in fall? I
they
don't
did.
know. What the
They like kind of moved against him in 01, but they didn't take anything, so
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
it's just not gonna go anywhere.
I'm not gonna lie. I completely blanked how this diplomatic situation unfolded because after this phase, I just stopped paying attention. I was just like, Iran is never gonna be Helpful for me. I don't know what's in their head, but it's nothing that I can work with. So I'm
Yeah,
just not, because like you could totally like do murder on Oman here, right?
you could. They absolutely could, but they decide to not.
Yeah. Um. So onwards from builds to moves. Um.
Yep.
So
Uh,
you or me? I don't know.
we can talk about Morocco here if you
Oh
want.
yeah. This player is
So
not the brightest.
this is the same player that threw in 1862 and like made it to where King of Prussia placed second in that game instead of first. That's who. This is the bright mind that we are dealing with here. He's managed to get hit pretty hard by a Portugal, Spain, and Segu coalition, all in '01. So right now he's dealing with that, and you know, his bright idea to solve this situation is to create the African Union. So this is a channel with all the regionals plus the Ottomans in we should have like our first vote actually was whether or not to include the Ottomans in this. So basically the way that this worked was he just created a channel between like me, him, Segu, who was attacking him, by the way, Ethiopia, Congo, and Zulu. Like all of us were in this channel together, and he just wants all of us to uh, attack Spain and Portugal for him. That is his solution to this problem. I personally love this because it'll never work for him. But
I will
like
note that in real life, the African Union was established in 1999, and Morocco was the only country in Africa that wasn't part of it until 2017.
it's just a classic, right?
You don't say.
I am like all I this will never work because again Seki was actively attacking him and Seki was not a player that's doing a lot of press either, so it'll never work at all. And like also you have players like Ethiopia who like cannot contribute to this at all. So I don't know what Ethiopia is supposed to really do. On my end, there's like one Portuguese dot near me that I'm guaranteed to take in like regardless. So I can't really help out either. Unless I like divert all
But
of
you
my
can sell
forces
him.
towards
You
like
can sell him on it.
true.
Yes,
Like if like the way
I
that
will bravely
I
take
would.
this Portuguese center to help you, my friend.
That's kind of just what I said. That's my contribution to this for him. I definitely helped a lot.
Oh yeah.
So the way we did this was like we elected uh we elected a like spokesperson who would be the emperor for like 2 years in game. And like this person was supposed to like draw like the tactics for everyone involved and like coordinate those. So I just happened to mention that the two of us just run a diplomacy channel where we talked about games, and that got me the win. So I am now the ruler of all African regionals for the next 2 years.
When you say
And
all African
that's
regionals, do you also mean like the Zulu?
yeah, everyone.
Oh my
It's so
god.
it's so funny. And like Ethiopia like came to me. Like Ethiopia also just knows that this is never going to work. So, like I just like tell them to like we like just agree that we'll go like we'll just
Just
like
go with it.
nod our heads for now and pretend to agree and just do what we are going to do regardless.
Yes, of
Um
course.
yeah, so I think that worked out pretty well. And like during my first turn as the leader of all of Africa, I decided to dot Morocco.
Well, yeah, this is just how it is, right?
I'm sure I'm
Well,
sure this is
well,
like
Morocco
Morocco
is
has
generously
fine.
being helped by you as an ally. Morocco needs to pay his taxes.
Yep, I'm sure. This is me. I'm just sending my armies over to get closer to the front with the Spain here. That's all.
Yes.
That is my goal. I will fight Spain, even if I have to go through Moroccan dots to get there. And you see, Segu also does not stop attacking Morocco. So really, this has not worked out at all for Morocco here.
Yeah, no.
And the rest of us Africans kind of do our own thing. I was trying to get Congo to attack Ethiopia here. There's like this like little region where they could have taken a dot from Ethiopia, guaranteed, but didn't.
It did the opposite,
And
looks
then
like.
Ethiopia dots them, which is hilarious. So now
Yeah.
they're at war with each other. So all my neighbors are fighting somebody else. I kind of get to pick and choose who I fight and who I don't, which is a pretty good position to be in. And I also transform my first fleet.
Yeah. I think you can take the luxury of doing that because Congo is kindly supporting you into a center right next to his own.
Look, the African Union works.
Which,
This is all part of the master plan.
yes, the master plan. Right. On
So how are things on your end?
this is going kind of as planned. I think this was an agreed balance between me and France in my score, which works for me now. He built a fleet. He's going to take Kochi, I think. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Um, I am being duplicitous with both England and Mughals, promising them support while just not doing that. I get them to bounce each other in Malwa without either of them knowing it. I tell England like,
So
"Hey, you should go to Malwa," and then I tell, "Hey, Mughals, you should go to Malwa," and they both do it. They're good friends like that.
I'm
And then
sure.
otherwise, it's just consolidation. It's taking Orissa. It's or I guess it's not even taking Orissa. This is a beleaguered garrison actually, because Orissa cannot
Oh.
cut Allahabad because that's you can't cut the support on your own unit, which means that this actually all bounces. Funnily enough. If I do it again in fall, it won't though, because I have a fleet that I moved. Can I get I move this army into Bandar so I can, you know, force my
Yeah, you
store
have
if I want?
3 on it now, so you can take that.
Yeah, right there. Um, and Tungu is attacking England, and England can't do anything about it because he didn't build an army right here.
Isn't that fun?
Yep.
I don't know why you wouldn't build there. That's just
I don't know, but
I guess England just like giving it up.
I am somewhat encouraged that Tungu might not want to attack me because they're moving units like south. So maybe they'll do East Indies, and then it can't be too hard to take these two things, right? With Qing fighting Japan and Russia. By the way, we didn't talk about this. Qing and like China and Japan's win conditions are both just, hey, you should go kill that other guy that's your neighbor right next to you. Like,
Yup.
yeah,
And Japan takes the advice here. And I remember China being like all shocked in the public press when this happened. I'm
yeah.
not sure how they didn't see that coming.
It's like, yeah, Japan is ordered to attack China from the start. It's always going to happen. Which is the downside to
Yeah.
having specific win conditions, right? Is you might railroad your diplomacy games, which is basically the exact opposite reason you would want to play diplomacy. But I digress.
The position also just like isn't good for anything except attacking China. Like Japan's access to the Pacific islands is just terrible. Like Spain can get
Yeah,
to every single one of them before Japan can, which should not make sense, but here we are.
yeah. This was one of the updates of 4.0. Is that previously Japan just went and like conquered the Pacific, and that was apparently not what Japan was intended to do. Japan is intended to go be a sledgehammer to ruin China's game at any cost.
I mean, literally, like it takes Japan four moves to get to the Pacific Ocean, which is insane.
Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is not a
Like,
this is not a center. That's just islands, right? So
yeah, and like the Pacific is so full of like of dots that are just that only Spain can really get. So Spain is just this huge power in the Pacific, while the power meant to be a Pacific power can't reach any of them before
yeah, because
Spain takes them all. So
keep in mind Spain doesn't only have access through these islands, but Spain also has these.
Yeah, from both ends. So like in like Britain, like Dutch actually doesn't have any guaranteed neutrals in the first year either. So like if Spain wanted, they could just like bounce Dutch out of every single dot, then build even more fleets and just it's so broken. And Britain isn't even doing anything to stop it. You see they try to core Tasmania.
No.
Coring
Yeah.
is not a mechanic here. So that's the player that we're dealing with here.
Yep. Well, I mean, I can't blame them for trying to sneak it by at least because without the ability to core more like area in Australia, they're just never going to compete with either the
I
Dutch
can and
or
will
the
blame them
Spanish.
because even if coring was a thing, they have a free dot in New, uh, like in a like Wakatane that they could have taken.
Yes,
That's free
but
for them.
counterpoint, they can just take it next year because Spain is
No,
so
because then
far away
Spain
from
can
them.
bounce. 'Cause Spain will go down to Linicol, and then they can go to New Zealand from there if
Well,
they
like
wanted to.
technically, yeah, but like, come on, you gotta try to core at least. Try to sneak it by so you can play the game.
Maybe I would personally take the dot, but Spain is just so incredibly good here that it doesn't matter too much in the first place.
Let me see. I think I have a Discord soundboard for this. It might be a little loud, so headphones users, you might want to turn that down. But I'm gonna play it because it makes a lot of sense. It actually wasn't that loud. At least not for my audio.
That's about right, I think, for the situation.
Yes, unlimited power indeed. So that wraps up this spring phase. So fall.
I can go back to Africa if you want.
Oh yeah,
So as the current ruler of the African Union, I've changed the rules to be a
per-
participant in this alliance. You now must own a capital in Africa to be considered part of the African Union. So Morocco's out as they lost their capital to Spain in the first year, and Spain is now in.
Yep, that
So
sounds about
therefore,
right.
me, Donnie Morocco in spring is actually completely fine and not against the rules of our little alliance. So it's all legal. I get to make the rules here, so everything's fine. Speaking of Morocco, they are continuing to not have a very great time. The African Union is doing some great work here. Portugal's convoying and Spain continues to take even more dots from them. Spain, a classic African country. Um, and I just took my one dot from Morocco and called it a day there. I also decided to stab uh, Segu here, and that is also completely fine because Segu loses their capital to Denmark here. So Segu is now not a member of Africa, and Denmark now is, the classic African country of Denmark. We all
Yeah.
know it. So the African Union is kind of like changing who's in and who's out just a tiny bit.
Mm.
But everything's fine because I doubled yet again. Every single one of my units took a center. I also stabbed Congo a little bit for Fernando Poe here. Um, so that was pretty fun.
Should not be a surprise.
I mean, my new fleet had to set sail somewhere, and that dot was looking pretty good. So I decided to yoink it. And me and Ethiopia are just gonna like keep working against Congo here. In the west, I will just stab whoever I can because the the entire West Africa portion of the map is just in complete chaos. So I will just dot everything that I can, and I will get away with it because I just make the rules for what happens now, apparently. Um, by this point, we have like three different channels for the African alliance. We had the first one without Ottomans, then we made another one to include them in,
Yeah.
and now we have like a third one to include Spain and Denmark. So um, it's a little chaotic, but it works for us. And by that I mean it does not work at all. So going pretty well for me so far.
Yes. So it would seem. Um,
How's your corner?
well, I'm not quite as trusted by either of my neighbors right now, but that's separate. Um, I just take a risk of myself. I let's see. There's like some tactical wizardry going on here. Oh yeah, that's right. I had England like bounce Mughals. They couldn't take Allahabad, and then I take Orissa. It's a great little tactical scheme. And
Nice.
I'm moving up. I think I'm working with England here because I need Mughals dead. I just always do and always will. Um, so that's fun. I dot France now. France is approaching from the south, by the way, but at this point, I'm like, if I don't dot France now, I will not get the chance to. So I do it. And uh, Iran, for some reason, moves a fleet down to the Laccadive Sea next to me. I honestly don't take that much note of it at the moment because I'm like, it would be such a dumb idea to do anything with that fleet that like is hostile to me. Because the moment I'm dead, Mughals' other winning condition is, hey, you should go kill that Persia guy to your west.
Crazy.
Which, if I was in the business of ruling Persia, I would not want my neighbors to be incentivized to attack me. And also, wait, what, why? Why do you need an army? Why do you need an army here, Persia? I guess it doesn't move. Luckily there was some bounce chains, so it stayed here. But still, why do you need an army there unless you're going to take that center? Like what?
Persia's decisions in this game are only balanced out by the questionable tactics of everyone else around them.
Yes. And then I'm also talking to Oman to see if they'll help me, but they're just completely uninterested. It's constantly like, no, I gotta go fight France. No, I gotta secure my islands. It's a bad time for me to attack Mughals. Yada yada yada. Not much to be done about that, I don't think. And Tongu is making more fleets, so it's gonna be a great grand old time.
Yeah, it looks like they're making them play for the Bay of Bengal,
Mhm.
and Dutch is also attacking them for. I guess that makes sense because they had the one dot in Malaysia.
The Dutch does not make much sense because they file the support instead of bouncing the French out of their own
Yeah,
center.
and they got stabbed by Spain this turn.
Yeah, no surprises there.
Nope.
I'm not sure how this wasn't like foreseen as a stab. Hello?
Yeah, they're
It's just
still death warring Britain
it's
too,
still
which is
still murdering
not
Britain.
very well.
Oh well.
Oh, they also got stabbed by France too.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, they're dead. Because yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, why not,
yeah.
right?
That's a dead Dutch right there.
Yep.
Should we go to winter?
I don't see why not. I guess let's see. There's chaos
You'll
in the
never
Americas,
guess
but I don't know.
what I decide to build.
Oh, let's see. Oh, is it armies? Wow, it's armies.
I know. I had to think really long and really hard for it, but I think 3 arms was the best way to go here.
Yeah, this was about the time I started like publicly celebrating the death of Morocco. By the way, I was like, "Oh yeah, that guy's dying. Thank God, get him out of the game." Which is not a thing I normally do. I normally am like, measured, and I try not to gloat these days. But when this guy dies in any game, I'm always going to celebrate it because come on, what else am I going to do, right?
Avast did not have a great time here. He is -4 in the second year, so yeah, I think I don't know if there is a way for this game to go less wrong for him. Um,
Death.
but yeah, that's where we stand here.
He has earned death.
This is what people who throw get. FYI.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Proceed straight to hell.
Yep.
Not jail. You're going to hell. Okay.
Sounds about right, I think.
There we go. I actually went +3, so I build 2 fleets and 1 army, with the
What's
idea
that
over.
like?
It's great. So over
Building
build
fleets.
over build phase, I try to patch things up with Mughals because England is like obviously dead here. I I forget why this
Mules.
tactic worked out this
Oh,
way.
mules are +3
Oh,
too.
never mind. I forgot that I supported. Wait, did I? Yeah, I supported the Mughals like this. I sabotaged England a little bit because I thought England was dead and not the most reliable. So I try to patch things up with them, with the idea that Iran is weak and an easy target for him to go kill, and that China is also getting like completely annihilated, so shouldn't be too much of an issue. That's my broad idea.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate to be honest. He does have decent influence to China, while China is fighting both Russia and Japan. Like, if you wanted to fight China, this is like the best case scenario for you to fight them in.
Exactly. So moves.
Yeah.
We'll let you start.
Yeah, so the African Alliance continues to function as I'm sure it was intended to. I'm just continuing to push into West Africa here. Now, Segu, they're not really a member of the African Alliance anymore, so just gotta make sure that they don't own any more dots in Africa. While Spain, the African country Spain, is pushing even further into Africa. I don't love the presence of that Spanish army, and they do convoy a second one in, so like it's not great, but at this point, I can't really do anything about it. I don't have any like mad presence at all. But I do decide, like me and Ethiopia had like a little discussion, like which one of us would Tripoli this turn. Like I decide to for them to take it. A because they're closer to the dot, and B because I don't want to be on the Med right now, with like Spain being this powerful, just in general.
Yeah.
Um, and my second like big project is trying to get my fleets out into the Gulf of Guyana here, which is pretty difficult because I've stabbed both Portugal and Congo, and they have two fleets sitting inside that area. So like right now, I just need to like support hold myself and hope that they'll move somewhere or disband the fleets. Portugal is going to lose like a bunch of dots this year, so I'm hoping like Portugal at least will get rid of theirs. And Portugal and Congo are also at war here. Yeah, coordinating gets me. So I'm hoping that like with that going off, they'll like fight each other and back off of me, and I'll have room to like move into the Gulf that way. And
Mhm.
once I'm in the Gulf, I can start convoying armies pretty much wherever I want. It'll get me next to Congo's capital, and it'll get me next to pretty much every single dot that I need to fulfill my win cons. And that's like once I can get into there, that is pretty much my game secured. And besides that, I am pushing a few units north just in case Ethiopia attacks me. I don't think they will, but I have the armies for it, so just in case. Um, at this same time, Oman decides to stab Ethiopia. This is something I've tried like seed for a while, but they were hesitant. They were hesitant until like this turn, where they approached me asking if I want to stab them. I said yes, but I didn't commit to it because I think I want to wait a little bit to see if Islam Ethiopia is a good idea for me here. Half because I wasn't sure Oman would actually do it, Half because Ethiopia is still like a pretty useful ally against Congo for me, and I don't want to have to fight a war against both Ethiopia and Congo right now. I'm in a pretty good position, but not quite powerful enough just yet to justify that. Um, though if I did stab Ethiopia here, I have like 2 dots off them guaranteed. So like it's a little tempting, but I decided to not go for it just yet. Um,
Yeah, because then you have like units here, and it just gets very messy.
yeah, so like I want to stabilize a little bit before I do that, and so I'll wait. Work with Ethiopia until like Congo's probably a bit more under control, and then I'll probably go in on them. Um, Ottomans are dying, and Portugal is also being kicked out of Western Africa here,
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah.
and that's my corner.
Well, they're not being kicked out as much as they're voluntarily walking away.
That well, yeah, and Spain is gonna evict them from everywhere else, so
As
they're
it
no
turns
longer
out,
relevant to my game.
Spain being given a victory condition that says if you want to win, you have to kill Portugal has a small influence on how Spain decides to conduct their game.
Who would have thought,
I don't
really?
know, man. That seems weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Portugal's capital is the closest one to Spain too, so I'm sure that had some degree of influence on Spain's choices here.
yeah, I decide to take dots basically. I take England's dot and Surat because I mean whatever, man. It's a dot. I like it. I try to get
Yeah.
Mughals going um east into like Tongu's area, but they actually hold because they don't trust me, which is not the best sign. I try to get Dutch fleet support into Akia Bay, but I don't get it because they get cut by Tongu here, and the other fleet is supporting a Danish move that doesn't happen. Um, I do get Mysore, but look at that. A Purser decides to weaken me. What a nice guy. And
That's
get a
really
fleet into
annoying.
Goa. Yeah, it's like I don't
They don't even
understand.
hold that.
Because look at what's happening. Like, like imagine what this fleet could have been doing right now if you say hadn't used like what the like why? How'd you not see this
Oh yeah,
coming?
they get stabbed by both Mughals and Oman
Like, how
too.
do you not see this? Like,
Yikes.
Mughals are gonna murder you, man. They have armies here, 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 and a fleet here, and Oman has a fleet here
And
and
look, they
here,
walk into
an army
Persian
here.
Gulf, which they totally could have bounced.
Like, what? What's the thought process? There is no thought process. This is death for Iran. Like death. There's no coming
Yep,
back. I mean, you
they're
can
dead.
still hold Isfahan if you want to, because there's no way to attack it, into it. But you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, they'll die maybe not even a slow death, it'll be a fast death.
I mean, if they keep playing like they are playing, it'll be pretty fast. Tell you that much. And at this
Yep.
point, I am pretty much cooked. My position still looks pretty good, but Iran is just like suiciding a fleet into me for no reason. I attacked France because I kind of had to, and France, yeah, the coast of Maldives borders Pondicherry. So as long as France has a fleet here, which is pretty reasonable to have, I can just avoid getting rid of the map. As long as France has a fleet there, I have to keep at least two supporting this unit at all times. I
Hmm.
can't make any progress into Akia Bay without getting a fleet out, but I can't get a fleet out because the moment I do, I lose this center, right?
Yeah, you can't keep the core open because Babenga will always have somebody else in it. That's really annoying, actually.
Yes.
And like
And
Tungu is insisting on having so many fleets on your border as well.
well, yeah, Tongu has a win condition to take my centers, so it's a good time. And even if I ever get into Malawa, which is a little bit difficult, because they have as many units on it as I can get, I never will be able to push further north than Malawa to kill Mughals at this point because Iran is a non-factor. I'll never get support to attack Mughals, and so my game is dead right here, which is pretty uh, it's a pretty pessimistic thing to say, but that's my opinion. I was like, oh, okay, I don't have any play. Um,
Yeah, at this point, Mules kind of has reached critical mass here. All their neighbors are either non-factors or moving in like the complete opposite directions, and they just have so many armies here that it's kind of impossible for anybody to attack them at this point. Yeah.
yeah, It's
Like Eagles can generally like win the game from this point
this position
if they
is really
wanted
good for
to.
the Eagles. It would have been different if Iran had decided to not vacate
Play
all
the
of
game.
their like what? Like what's the idea? I don't know.
Yeah, that's just rough.
It's death, man.
Yep.
Yes. From here, well, you'll see. You'll see what happens from here. But yeah, I guess we move on to what, fall?
Yeah.
Fall moves. Looking good for you.
Yeah, so at this point in time, I decided that Denmark actually is not a country in Africa, and I decided to kick them out of the alliance. It's my second year as the African Union leader, so I just made that a choice, and everyone else just kind of like goes with it. So it's pretty great so far. The channel is seeing like zero press at all. Nobody's really talking in it, but I take my title very it's a very serious matter to me. So I decide to remove Denmark from the alliance, and I take Segu's capital back into rightful African hands. Those hands being mine.
Yeah.
I mean, Segu had their capital, but they lost it, so they clearly can't be trusted with it again. So that's just the way that it has to be, I think. Um, I'm still going after Congo here. This is kind of like starting my push into Western Africa to take like the rest of the cores I need to fulfill that win con. So like I want to push both Denmark and Dutch out now. And there's so many dots around me that like I'm just attacking Segu at the same time, mostly because I can. Congo and Portugal are no longer working together to attack me. So I can I made like a little bit of a gamble to like transform another fleet instead of like support hold myself. I figured with Portugal actively taking Congo's dots in the south that they wouldn't support into my dot, and I was correct. I still don't get in to the Gulf of Guiana, but Portugal's going like -10 or something here. I don't know how bad it actually is for them, but I do know that they're losing a lot. So I figure that they'll probably get rid of this fleet here because it's like one of their least valuable fleets around.
Yeah.
So I should be able to push into that next year. Um, Me and Ethiopia are continuing to attack Congo, though we don't really make a lot of progress this year. Oman is continuing to push against Ethiopia, which in hindsight does kind of stall the attack against Congo, but Portugal is kind of picking up the slack for me there, so it doesn't really hurt me. Oman is like a little bit mad that I'm not helping them against Ethiopia just yet, but I am in such a good position that I don't really need to care that much about keeping like Oman 100% like they don't need to like enjoy me or enjoy press with me to for me to have a good game here. They need me, but I don't really need them, so I don't really feel bad lying to them a little bit here. I'll probably attack Ethiopia sometime soon because the position looks pretty good,
Yeah,
but
you're just sneaking
I
around the
want to do
edge.
that in a year where they don't have builds and they'll have two. So not just yet. Um,
Morocco
and
still
yeah,
exists. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I actually don't take any dots this year, but I went +6 last year, so I have 3 pocket builds just
You
waiting
got
to be
this one.
built. So that's just Bornu right now. Completely balanced,
As as was intended.
of
All right.
course.
I well, with Iran getting attacked by all of their neighbors, they decided the right thing to do with that fleet they have is to attack me.
That's so dumb. They're doubling down. That's what you should not be doing. They literally have a free Eagle Center too that they could have taken.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, so when I said my position was dead, that's why I said it. Also, the Mughal Bengal cooperation or Mughal Tongu cooperation, and I make a
Yeah.
wrong guess with Kangota into West Bay of Bengal because I assume that France should probably be there, and that if I'm getting attacked in Orissa, it's gonna be with 4 because I can keep like 4 on it. It's a
Yeah,
train wreck.
France support holding coast of Maldives is interesting.
Yeah, like this is a train wreck, and well, I am lucky that I already kind of gave up on this game earlier
Yeah.
because this is just it's sad, but there's not much else to be done, I don't think.
Yeah, at this point, it's just kind of there's not really a real way to save it, I think.
What else can a man do?
Maybe if Iran was actually playing, but they are not.
Yeah. Oh, pretty simple. So we go on to builds, and
Yep,
hey Saul, what do you
you'll
build?
never guess.
You're not gonna guess.
You'll never guess. It's I don't even know how anybody would guess what I would build here.
Nice. I do not have builds. I have to disband, and I get rid of Barar because in this position, I forget that I have a fleet out here, which I could have disbanded. Now, would disband that unit be the best? Probably not, but I probably would have just to be spiteful towards Mughals. And
Yeah, it's a
because
tough
Iran,
choice.
like I hate Iran for doing this. This is the dumbest thing they could have done. But there's no play to attack them here because I assume Surat's always going to be cut or it's going to have to cover Kandesh or something. Um, and Mysore has to cover against France, so it's a clusterfuck at this point. Um, the position is not the
Yeah,
best.
yeah. If France sends in any more fleets, then you'll be attacked from your like all three angles. There's just not
And
much to do there.
and they have 2 fleets here, and they're building 2 more because let's see how it's going for France elsewhere. Oh, they're dominating Europe. Oh, look, their
Yep,
North American colony's doing pretty good. Oh, look, they have
they've
control of
just
most of the
swallowed Britain.
Caribbean. Hmm. And they have control of like
They're
the
just
entire Indian Ocean. Huh.
doing all right. You
So
know,
yeah.
classic France game.
Yep. So that's my experience in this game. It's going pretty well. Um, apart from the whole thing where 2 of my neighbors get over to attack me, and the third one decides he's gonna disband Isfahan instead of like, yeah,
Why would you defend Isafon? Come on, that's so dumb.
yeah, it's a great time.
Uh,
I uh,
yeah,
I did
well,
get pretty jaded about this game.
I can see why.
Well, onwards to moves. I think we should start with my moves now because yours are relevant and mine are like the last gasps of a dying man.
Yeah, we can go through those.
I go for Kangoda to kind of stem the bleeding, which actually works. France goes for Kochi instead of attacking me, so I decide to murderize what while I can against the Iranians, which is thank God I can do it. And I move Allahabad back to Berar just to cover my ass, and it's pretty decent. But it's still a losing position um, in the medium and long term, and maybe in the fall.
Yeah, you're just doing what you can to draw it out.
Yep, it's a great time. Looks like you're also drawing more centers in actually.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. The African Alliance continues to go well. My term is technically up, but seeing as um, there has not been a new vote for a new African leader, so I just made the decision to remove voting. So we no longer vote for a leader, and I would just be the leader of the continent for basically forever now. I've decided that.
Well,
So
instead
that's
of
how that's going to go.
you've got the first African empire. You've transformed the African Union into the African Empire.
Yeah,
For
I figure
for
that
wait,
I
Saul, you gotta
deserve it.
it's for a safe and secure society.
Yeah, I have only the noblest goals here.
But
Um,
as you all know,
I love democracy. I love the Republic.
I gotta turn that up 1 second. I gotta really crank it up. I gotta.
I love democracy. I love the Republic.
There we go. All right, I have my soundboard quiet for myself, but viewers, I hope
I
you
love
enjoyed.
that.
That was a direct quote from Salt when he was uniting Africa under his benevolent
Yeah.
rulership.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that it's just better under my rule. I mean, just like you like was Segu like really managing their capital well? I don't really think so. So
It
it's
was
just
better
it's
than
just better
Morocco, but
this
that's a pretty
way.
low bar.
Morocco lost their capital in '01. It's crazy. Um, but yeah, Congo and Portugal were nice enough to disband their fleets in the Gulf of Guyana, so I get to move in for
Yeah,
free with the brand new Bornu Navy. Haven't heard that one before. Um,
that coastline's gonna get
Ethiopia.
swept.
Yeah, there's like no other fleets on it. I do unfortunately lose the guesses against Congo this turn though, but I have like a decent amount of units on them now, so like it's like eventually I will take those dots I need from Congo, and I'm not too pressed for time here. I'll take them before the game ends. Nobody's won nobody's won yet, though Spain and France are pretty close, so I've got
Yeah.
time.
Okay, the
And
other part of this variant
Ethiopia,
we didn't mention is that there's no solo in this game. The game only
yeah,
ends when at least 5 people have hit their victory condition,
yeah.
which also
Spain and France are like shoo-ins at this point. I'm in third place, and after that, nobody else is really remotely close.
it's a grand old time.
It's great. After Bornu was completely balanced, I'm sure. Um, Besides that, West Africa, I just keep pushing more and more armies. I'll actually get like 2 or 3 dots from Denmark this turn.
Yeah, this like this entire coastline, you're just gonna sweep it.
Yep. I get Ethiopia to transform some fleets on the Med now. It's like we're
Yeah.
still working together. Like I'm hoping they'll be like my sort of vassal, to, like help hold off Spain a little bit here. Because Spain is bringing in a third army, and like Morocco and Segu are both like completely dead here. So the only reason Spain would want another army in Africa is like push even further. And that kind of gets into my land here. So at this moment, my biggest threat right now is if Spain decides that they want to push even further into the Sahara here, and then I'm going to have to divert like half of my armies to fight Spain.
If Spain decides that you
I
don't get
don't.
to win, then it might be a problem.
I think I can still win if Spain does that, just because everyone else around me is so weak that even with like half my armies devoted to like purely to holding off Spain, I can still just grab a bunch of centers from everywhere else and like continuously make armies to fight Spain. I don't really have like a way diplomatically to stop Spain because they're in such a powerful position right now. There's no
Yeah.
one really around them that can stab them that would do anything for me. So like the best way I can do to like hold off Spain is to like just make myself into somebody that is not really worth it for them to fight. So like if I show that I'm just going to be building three more armies in Africa every single turn, and if I just keep like a bunch of armies in the west here and the north now, if I just keep those armies there, then like Spain should see that it's just not worth it to pick a fight with me, and that should avoid any problems. And I did like tell Spain after this turn went through that I would not be allowing them to take Tripoli. So like I moved on my army there to hold Ethiopia there, just in case. And it looks like Spain's gonna go for it, so I'll hold them there, and hopefully that'll hold off Spain. It might mean war, but if it is, I'm sort of prepared for that.
Sounds like a good plan.
And yep, and that is this turn.
All right. And then there was fall. Get India out of
Yep.
the way real quick. I try to conduct some tactical wizardry to hold on. Unfortunately, Oman is actively supporting the growth of Mughals into India, so there's no wizardry I can do to hold Surat. I do hold on to Barar, and I prevent them from moving into Malwa, so I delay their advance here quite a bit, I think. Kangura is a lost cause no matter what I do, so I try to cut coastal Maldives and move into Vijayanagar because what I expect here is I expect this to be the moveset from France, something like this, where Candy still cuts Bay of Bengal west. And if he had done that, then I would have succeeded. But instead, Aeolus runs with coastal Maldives going into Pondicherry, supported by Vijayanagar, and he gives it up in exchange. Like we trade these two centers basically.
Yeah.
So you win some, you lose some. Still the best outcome I could have gotten with him running this move set, honestly. Actually, no. I mean, I guess technically, if I had gone Bay of Bengal to Pondicherry, then I still win this exchange. But it's questionable in any scenario. I think. Um, I keep Bombay, I lose Surat, and my position continues to slowly fall apart. But you know, the upside for me is if I hold on long enough, that I can maybe prevent Mughals or Toungoo from getting into the winner circle, and that's basically my only goal at this point.
Makes sense.
Yes. So Africa.
I talked a big game about keeping Spain out of the north and like helping Ethiopia hold the line there. And I changed my mind to stab Ethiopia so Spain just gets the north now. That's our deal, I guess. I'm not like I just told Spain they could have the dot up there and to take it, and I'll just stab Ethiopia here. Normally I don't like to stab like this, where it's a false stab. I'm not walking into any dots, but Ethiopia is like -2 after this turn, and I can get like this middle section of the empire completely free,
Yeah.
and I can just like kind of take the rest of it from there. So I like the stab enough to where I'll just go for it. Um, and that's pretty solid. I also just need the dots at this point. I'm about halfway to my win con at this point. Congo is going slower than I would like, and the dots in West Africa are going to run out pretty soon. So I need to make a new uh, land grab for the leader of Africa here. I'm sure Ethiopia won't mind.
At this point, I think the win cons are pretty decently. I mean, the only problems for you is you have to go to capital, and Ethiopia's been pushed back so far by Oman that you're going to have trouble getting Gondar. But other
Yeah,
than that,
but Congo's capital is like right there for me. So at this point,
yeah,
I'm just gonna take that one.
yeah, exactly, because you can use this,
And
you can cut and then support this in with this army.
yeah, I'm also gonna try to push for Kahir at this point, and see if I can grab that. I don't really need it anymore to win, but it is like there for like security in case like one of my other two win cons gets uh like somebody tries to size like snipe a dot somewhere. I'll have like a third one just in case. I don't think it'll happen, but it's a security measure. And in West Africa, I'm just requisitioning some more land for myself here. Um, and I will probably take Congo's capital next year. Oman continues to make some progress against Ethiopia. Dutch get completely dotted by France in the south. And overall, it's looking
Oh yeah,
pretty good for us here.
This is just sad for the Dutch.
It really is. I feel a little bit bad for them, but they have not played well.
They have dug their own grave.
Yeah. Spain also convoys an army number 4, which I'm sure means only good things for
It gets
me
bounced,
in the
so
future.
they try but fail.
Yeah,
But this one does
I'm sure that
transform.
they want to try
So
again. Yeah, it's a great time. I totally trust Spain. I'm not at all scared. Totally.
exactly. Let's see. Tour of the rest of the world. This South American regional is doing pretty okay. Spain is murdering people in North America. There's like a line here. I don't know. Spain has enough dots.
Yeah.
And in the
Spain
Pacific,
owns the Spain owns it all.
Spain owns the Pacific, wouldn't you know it? Hmm. All right, on we go. Oh
Yep.
wait, that's it. There we go. All right.
Winter builds. You'll never guess what I decided to make.
Wow, 3 armies. Let's see. I actually disband retreats, and I disband retreats. I mean, I NMR retreats because I'm like very done. I just forget. Um, I forget why I forgot, but I forgot. But I just built an army. It honestly doesn't matter that I NMR'd the retreats because it makes no difference as to how the year is going to go.
Yeah,
So the army in Suchara,
it's about the same.
yeah, and we'll give it a go.
Yeah. Do you want to go through India real quick?
Yes. So I'm just I'm pushing south because Mughals are going to be crushing in from the north. I cut Kanguta just in case there's any, shenanigans. I don't defend Bandar because I expect it to fall, but France actually doesn't like force it, so I have some chances with it in the fall if I want to. And I cut Kochi to make sure I can take Goa here. So, gunboating, it's a great time.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you're
I'm sure.
having a good time of your own.
Yep. I think Ethiopia subbed out at this point.
Oh yeah, they
I'm just
NMR builds, so yeah.
yeah, I'm just walking into their territory. They're moving back to like cover me. I think they like try to get a peace deal with Oman here. And it looks like they thought that they would go through, and Oman was lying about it. Which I mean, I don't know.
Classic.
I think that was. I think you think they probably could have guessed that, but there's not really a lot of play they can really do to prevent it. And even Congo isn't their friend. They managed to protect their dots in that region, but Congo still being against them at this point is just really, really bad for them. They don't have like a single ally left, so it's looking pretty dire for them.
Yeah.
I'm continuing to send like my northern army build north instead of like west or east here, on the off chance that like that Spanish army in Tripoli decides to, like come down to like Vazan and dot me.
Yep.
Like I kind of like always want to have a army in that area just in case that war with Spain becomes real. Um, as Spain still is like occupied enough by Segu here that I'm not too worried just yet. Um, Speaking of Segu, they actually no, Spain's still taking their dots. I'm kind of just making my way over to the rest of their centers, and I will take those when I can. And this is when I finally take Congo's capital here. I think that goes through.
Let me look for a second. Herp. No, this fails.
No, okay. Next turn then in fall, we should grab it. One of
Yes,
these
I
days.
guess.
Congo is like weakened enough by Portugal that I feel confident in being able to grab what I need from them without anyone's help. So I'm just continuing to like I'm not like dedicating a lot of units there, but I'm like keeping just enough pressure out to where like I'll eventually win the guesses here and get through.
That's all you need.
Um yeah. a lot slower than I would like, but it'll happen one of these days. In the meantime, I still have enough dots coming from Ethiopia and West Africa, so I'm not hurting for builds. +3 is a really, really low bar to hit every year, so my build situation will pretty much always be solved here. So I'm just not worried.
Yeah, no complaints.
Yep. And I get an army on Kikir. I was hoping that Spain to like support me in there, but they needed Central Mediterranean for something else. So I'm not hopeful I could get here, but like maybe I can send like another army in that direction and grab it then. But we'll see.
So it shall be.
In that spring. Yep.
And so fall. I moved to get Bandar back, but I don't fully support it because I have other tactical crap to take care of. This doesn't really work out for me because all my units are getting cut. It's a pretty dire situation when that happens. I do get Kosi because I use my sword to support, or I support my sword instead of using this to help Bandar, which actually works out because they kick me out of Pondicherry, but this gets into Bandar, right? So they get back Pondicherry, I get back my center of Bandar. I'm gonna be relieved of all my coastal centers soon, anyways. But hold on to what I can.
Yeah. Maybe you can get some armies and just hold the line against Mughals in France.
Yeah, exactly.
Or not France, because France only has fleets, but
Also,
yeah.
Mughals did somehow manage to screw up the rest of their position. We haven't been looking at it too closely because it's just death for me. But they somehow managed to screw all of this up. I don't know how.
They had a killer position against China, and now
They just moved away.
I guess they just decided not to attack China.
They attacked Tonggu for some reason. I don't know. They wanted the capital probably, but the capital's here. You're never getting that. Crazy, man.
Well, yeah, now they're moving away from Tonggu and attacking. They're at war with Russia for some reason.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know.
interesting. And no longer making progress in Safavids. How do you lose this into Safavids here?
I did not.
Wow.
We didn't pay any attention to it because honestly, I'm dead anyways. But yeah, this I don't comprehend what happened in this game. It's weird, man.
If Safavids make a comeback here because Mughals just dropped the ball, that would be hilarious.
Yeah. God.
Yep. Over in Africa, we love to see Spanish armies being convoyed out for once to Albania this time. Of course, a new one comes in, but we're just not gonna talk about that one.
Nope.
I think this point is when I made a deal with the Ethiopia sub. And that deal was for them to give me Kir, and in exchange, I will just not press the attack against them. So they agreed to that, and I kept going against them. So I just got Kahir because of that, and I'm just gonna keep dotting Ethiopia where I can. Though at this point, there's not really a whole lot more left to take from them, so it's kind of mission accomplished on my end.
Just the capital.
Yep. In a normal game, I would be worried about Amon potentially turning against me after this is done, but I don't think this game is going to last long enough for that to be a problem for me. And they actually have more armies on the front than I do, but again, I don't think by the time that we share a border, the game should be basically over. And because there has to be 5 winners exactly for the game to end, you're pretty encouraged to just not attack people that are also close to winning or have already won, just for the game to end, and so you can just get that win. So at this point, I'm just kind of wanting to help end the game as fast as possible. So I'm trying to help Oman get their win cons. So they'll be number 4 for our 5 winners. It's me, France, Spain. I'm trying to push for Oman to get into that winner circle. And then for number 5, I'm talking to Spain about it. and it's between like this one South American power whose name I completely forgot. I think it's Tupi.
Tupanamba.
Yeah,
Also, I will
yeah.
say,
So
Salt,
like
you
it's
did. I think you did benefit from a misadjudication here. Oh no, it's because
oh
you
yeah,
can't cut the support on your own attack on the attack on your own unit. So actually, yeah, that goes through.
gotcha. Oh yeah, it's super nice for me actually get that army in there.
Yeah, so you're actually like
Um,
completely winning, more
yeah,
so than we thought.
Bornu is completely balanced.
Yes.
Our other like potential winner candidate is Russia here. Russia has had like a kind of a slow start because China just like suicided their armies into them, but they're making a comeback here. So like Russia might be one of our winners, but that's like completely out of my hands. So I'm hoping Spain lets either 2B win or Russia has a good enough game from here on out to get their own win cons.
Yes. All right.
Um,
Well,
yep. And other than that, I'm just continuing to push everywhere.
on we go.
Congo's capital is secure, so they're no longer a member of the African Federation.
Exciting.
And Oman actually, no, okay, Oman's not in Gondor, but they will be soon. So Ethiopia will be kicked out. But Oman does get into the African Federation. No, that's next year. Okay, because Zulu still has their capital too, so they're still technically a part of this alliance, but they won't be for long.
I actually lined up another moves map after instead of the builds map, but the builds are what you'd expect, which is Salt builds 3 armies, and I have to get rid of my. Actually, no, I keep all my units on the board. Ha! Magic.
Yeah, my builds are super in depth. You can't tell.
Armies. I meanwhile
Who would have thought?
continue to get murderized by all my neighbors. It's a great time.
Yep.
Not much to
It seems
discuss.
France is not going easy on you.
No, well, he has no reason to at this point.
Yeah, and Beatles just have so many units. They're at critical mass.
Yeah, well, there's so many units where they don't need them, but up here where they do, they don't have any.
Yeah. Um, over in
Alright.
Africa, me and Oman are just finishing off Congo and Ethiopia here. Not much left to be said. There's like a little bit of miscommunication between me and Oman here, but we are still allies, so not a huge deal. Um, Spain convoys another army out of Africa. We loved it. We love to see it.
Yep.
A little bit annoying with Segu, but like it's completely fine. And I'm just taking as many dots in West Africa as possible. And nobody at this point can really do anything about me at all. So we are just winning.
Yes. We both have very simple positions for opposite reasons.
Pretty much. Not a ton left to be said.
On we go to fall. Let's see. Death. Death, death, death.
Yep.
Although I actually get some back at them here, I somehow I don't understand what the tactics here are for Mughals. But they let me get back Bandar, so there you go.
Yeah,
Just
that
as
two
I
new army
planned.
is actually forced to retreat into Bugle's Dot, which could be interesting.
Yeah, Mughals like
Maybe.
I don't know if this is a stab or like a no, it's definitely a stab. I just don't know why you would do it.
Yeah, it's a choice for sure.
Yes. Meanwhile,
And Beagles are also attacking on Bond, which I really don't like to see.
I also don't understand. You want to attack like Persia or China. Someone.
Yeah, I don't think they have any win cons to go after Oman, but
They
I
don't.
don't know. They have so many fleets that they kind of have to now, and they're winning too, which really sucks. But I'm trying to get Oman to their win cons. Speaking of, I do support them to Gondor, so they get in, and that fulfills their capital win con because they also take the capital of Zulu down
Yes.
south. So
Qua Bulawayo. Yes.
yep. So Mon now has two of their win cons fulfilled. One's the capitals, and one is like well centers in mainland Africa, I think, which they definitely have by now. So they just need to get to their VSDC,
Yes.
which hopefully the Mughals attacking them doesn't throw off too much. But Africa has like just 3 dots for the both of us right now, so we're doing pretty well there. Other than that, I'm trying to make a little bit of a push towards St. Helena, but the South Atlantic is so like full of fleets that I'm kind of close to just like giving up on that dream.
It turns
I
out
don't
when
think I'll ever.
Spain has a billion centers, they just have fleets everywhere.
Yeah, like all of my ideas to get a center off of Africa requires going through the South Atlantic, and Spain and France just own it. So I don't think that'll happen. Um, yeah, I would just let that dream die, I think. I, me and Spain also finished cleaning up West Africa here. So at this rate, I'm just gonna station like a bunch of armies off of in West Africa here as like a defense guard against Spain. We kind of have our winter circle made here, where we're just waiting for the game to end at this point. So I don't think Spain will attack me, but I'm not gonna leave them a chance to either. And yeah, the African Union is now me, Oman, and Spain, and that is it.
Yep.
But I'm in charge still, so it works out,
Totally.
in my opinion.
The best.
Yep.
And so we move
And
to builds.
you'll never guess what I make.
3 armies.
Crazy.
I actually get to keep all my units because one of my fleets got disbanded. So,
Solid.
we got 5 centers.
Yeah, armies are what you need at this point too.
We're just fighting a guerrilla war in southern India. Or
Yep.
there's no jungle, so I can't like make any Vietnam jokes. It's not quite Afghanistan.
It's between those,
Yeah,
probably.
there's like a mountain range here and a mountain range here, and then there's a plateau up here, and there's like there's some like monsoon terrain on the coast, but it's not really a jungle because it's monsoonal. So Anyways,
Yeah.
spring. I am conducting some operations in. We'll call this the national readout, like Switzerland does. It's the national readout,
Yep.
and we're gonna live.
Makes sense.
Meanwhile,
Yep, I am trying to end the game as fast as possible here. Me and Spain kind of like sat down. It's like we have 3 winners like guaranteed, which is me, France, and Spain right now. It's like those are all like locked in. We've got our winning cons. We have our VSDC. We're not going anywhere. And we have 3 candidates for like those final two spots. Oman is one, who I am pushing to get to their VSDC as fast as possible. They were a shoe-in, but with the Mughals attacking them, it's like less guaranteed now because they're actually losing a significant amount of ground to that. So hopefully they can race their VSTC, but in case they don't, 2P and Russia are also candidates. Spain is like kind of has some kind of deal with 2P, like where Spain is just gonna like let 2P win, which I am all for. I don't remember what 2P's win cons are, but I know Spain is like planning to help them out with that. And also get to be their final dots for VSCC from somewhere. I don't know where those are coming from. I'm not part of those talks, but I'm hoping Spain just goes with it because apparently halfway through the game, the GM clarified that like you can solo if you get I think like 100 dots or something close to that. It was like some kind of like really high number of dots that like nobody in a normal game should be able to reach. But Spain actually has like a decent line to go for that, so I'm just hoping that they decide to end the game the easy way instead of going for it. But just
Yeah.
in case, I'm kind of like mobilizing a little bit more in Western Africa in case I do have to fight Spain.
Yeah, 'cause if I was Spain
Um,
here, I would really be considering that just out of spite to
yeah,
the game, like, to the format of the game. Because like how
yeah,
many? Let's see, how many dots do you have?
I would probably do it if I were Spain too, just to get that much dodge and get the solo win.
Spain ended the game on 91 centers.
Yeah,
I would do it
I, I
if I
think
was Spain in this
I
position.
think
I would do it.
Spain only did it because they were bored. I think
Yes, but I would. But both of us would do it.
it's like honestly, it's like a no-brainer decision.
You like have to do
It's
it,
just
man.
too good.
You just killed Tupanamba. There you go.
Yep. Um,
But like you don't
I'm
like make
also
it.
trying to get.
Maybe I don't know. We're not gonna do the calculations. If there's some way to like make it not obvious you're doing it until the fall, then you can just like sweep in and end it, and it's great.
Yeah, I'm also like pleading with Spain to like not mess with Russia. Um, they have like Spain has like these like fleets in like Siberia somehow. So like they've taken Alaska from Russia, and I'm just like begging Spain to not mess with Russia anymore,
Yeah,
so Russia can get their win. It's like Spain is also around like the Constantinople area, so they have they can kind of screw Russia out of their win cons if they so choose, and I'm just hoping Spain doesn't. There was a surrender vote actually to me, Spain, and France, but that just barely didn't go through. So we have like another year of this, I think, before we're all
Um,
out.
nope, this is fall. This is the last fall.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I
Perfect.
survive. I hold on to 4 of my dots. I lose Bandar, but I keep the rest of them. Hallelujah.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you get
Um, More of the same on my
yeah,
end. Oman and Russia squeeze into the winner's circle here, and Tubi actually like is Tubi's sat at like exactly 100%. So like Tubi did have enough to win, but per the rules of the game, only 5 people and 5 people exactly can win. So Tubi unfortunately it's all their win cons in their VSCC, but does not get the win. So that's kind of game.
yeah. And so we have the final map,
Um,
which colors oceans for some reason.
it's like zones of control, I think.
Yes.
Well,
Except they
really, it
missed
should
this
show
ocean
me
right here.
as
They got this one wrong. This was clearly Maratha controlled, as you can tell by the 2 army or the 1 army and the fleet. This is a fake fleet, by the way. This was clearly Maratha sea zone.
yeah, I happen to agree. I think really Africa should just like the entire continent should be colored in Bornu's colors because I'm still technically the leader of the African Alliance. Nobody held a vote to replace me, so I'm still in charge. Um, So I should just have the entire continent there, but
Exactly.
maybe Spain can get a little chunk of it, and France too for some reason. I'll tacitly allow them to exist.
Yes,
Portugal definitely dies though.
I was gonna say God bless. I almost got it wrong. Inshallah.
Yep. Portugal survived somehow.
Because I mean Portugal just has so many like outposts that it's inevitable that one of them lives. Also, because halfway through the game, when Portugal had already basically collapsed, the original player was replaced by Pope, who actually knows how to play the game.
Yeah, and does press.
Yes, that helps.
Who knew?
Well, I did because he suddenly like started surviving in India.
Yeah. And Spain owns the entire Pacific, uh, which is super fun.
That's balanced. Yeah,
Of
that
course, Spain is totally balanced.
well, what's gonna happen is next game Spain's gonna be completely over nerfed. All their neighbors are gonna get told to kill Spain, and then all of a sudden Portugal's gonna like run the game over, and everyone's gonna act all shocked. Like, wait a second, what?
Yup. It's actually really sad. That's exactly what happened to Dutch after 8-3. They saw my game, and even though I didn't get the win, Dutch got nerfed into the ground here. Like their Indonesia got hit really, really hard, and their other regions are a lot worse off too. Their South America is actually significantly better, but everywhere else got nerfed, so it's pretty rough for the Dutch, which is
Yeah,
sad to see.
yeah, the
Though
Dutch
I
did.
say that, they did win in the other A4 game. Um,
Hmm.
but I think that's more due to the Colonials boring the Dutch in that game being really, really bad than Dutch as a power being good. But I don't know.
Yes. Well, on that note, I think that pretty much covers it, at least for our perspectives of this game.
Think
Um,
so?
yeah. So thanks all for watching. It was kind of a more depressing episode than usual because I just died. Like by year 3, my position was just dead. it was it was cooked. Um, but Salt got a nice victory, so
Yep.
there's some good in the world after all. So
It was pretty nice. The game was a very easy one because Bornu is absolutely insane, but it was pretty fun. And if A5 comes around, then I will be there for it. Maybe King of Prussia will be too.
so it shall be.
Um,
I mean, as long as maybe I'll just either there will be no win conditions or I'll scour the entire board to figure out which country is the most overpowered and just play that one.
Honestly, that's probably a better way to play.
Yeah.
It's
So,
sad and it's like I don't know. It feels wrong, but like sometimes you just gotta search for most broken country and just play that.
yep. Well, on that note, have a good night, everybody.